The Devil's Game by Pavlo Domitrashuk. Part 6. Juventude. Juventude, or youth in Portuguese. Youth. The future. The hard-working parents earned their living on good jobs, which they studied and struggled to achieve. They offered their children all kinds of goods that they themselves were never offered. A modern phone, large sums of money, keys for a car, and clothes on a long rolling carpet. It's so long because the young ones can't stand proximity with their progenitors. They see them as stupid, obsolete, old-fashioned, and simply boring. Boomers. That's a popular description these days. Though it will most likely fall into obscurity very soon, just to be replaced by another name. A common occurrence in the life of the youth, the constant replacement of temporary trivialities. That is because they have never been through the same strife and difficulties as their parents, never having to actually try to achieve the goods and comforts that have been handed over to them. That's why they take them for granted. Because of the lack of real challenge and triumph, they never feel fulfilled, for the achievements offered to them aren't really theirs. They never feel the gratification of overcoming an obstacle because they never had to overcome any. They don't understand why they can never feel satisfaction, and they hate that perpetual feeling of something missing. Their hatred is the result of their lack of understanding. All the goods enter the door in the shape of a mouth, and from the other door, in the form of an ass, exits the waste that the kids send back to their parents. A drawing of shit. Letters with wish lists of what they want, used condoms, bills, failed tests. On a small hill of trash that they send back are used syringes, empty alcohol bottles, more bills, more failed tests, and a ripped apart teddy bear. A capricious behavior caused by the excessive satisfaction of their every whim and childhood lost to vain pursuits of popularity. That is what caused them to never see the simple beauty of a toy. They're ignorant to the selfless act of a poorer child caressing the little being that can't even feel or reciprocate it, for they have never been taught kindness. The cool kid can't be seen playing with an unfashionable teddy bear. The tower painted with graffiti, with popular and meaningless phrases, and messages which are perceived as cool and trendy by many youths, at least for a while. Their illusion of superiority to the common folk, the idea that their temporary popularity is actual merit, and not a pathetic facade which will crumble with time. After all, a trend only lasts as long as the ones who dictate it want it to last. And they will make it last as long as they have something to gain with it. On top of the tower are the two kids, the coolest kids in the block. A bleach blonde boy with an obey shirt, a swagger hairstyle, a huge earring that stretches his skin to its absolute limit, tattoos of dog paws on his back because it was popular during the time that he made it, ripped trousers that are so down that his boxers are visible, and a selfie stick with which he's taking pictures of himself without even glimpsing at the parents who bought it for him. The girl is paying attention to the parents, but only to flip them off and show her tongue. Such a rebel. Like a female dog that bites the hand that feeds her. Her clothes are very slutty and revealing. Her trousers are too tight and have a dick painted on her butt, glorifying her disgraceful behavior as what people now call a thought, and excusing it with the preposterous platitude of accepting yourself as who you are, with minimum effort. Her shirt looks like a corset, almost squishing out her breasts that are barely held in. Her hair is well cared for and covered by a supreme cap on her head. The tower is leaving multiple cracks on the ground. The harm that this kind of vain behavior of the youth brings to the structure of family and consequently to the fabric of society is not obvious at first, but its magnitude is unimaginable. It will become obvious when these kids have to become the new adults, though, if it already isn't. There is a dropped ladder near it. Many times did the parents place it leaning on the tower. Many times have the brats thrown it down. There were multiple chances for the kids to descend from their imaginary throne into reality, chances that they always refused out of blindness and stupidity. Well, of course, we can't only blame the poor fools, for this result is also partially the result of the parents' excessive kindness, and of course, because of the complete abandonment of values that work to improve society. These values used to be encouraged by the state, which now seems to prefer indoctrinating its citizens into brainless drones to more easily exploit, manipulate, and enslave them. Perhaps it's because there are interests of others getting in the way of what the state should do. A step back to acknowledge the precipice we are running into is in great need, now or never. After all, can we really call a society that is heading with breakneck speed towards its collapse progressive?